Thanks, Andrew. Good morning. Happy blessing of the backpacks to all of you. I'm really happy to see all of your faces, whether you're new or familiar, or if you haven't been in a while especially. It's great to have you here. So this is probably my family's 12th, I think. 12 or 13, if you count how many blessing of the backpacks. But I'm not sure how many of those early years we actually made it. It's all kind of a blur because when we started coming in 2012, Jade was really young and busy, and I lost a lot of brain cells chasing her up and down the hall. But since I became DRE in 2016, we've been here every year for the blessing of the backpacks. And this year, Jetta is a senior. Jetta is our service associate today. And this will be her last backpack blessing before bridging into young adulthood in the spring. I'm sad too. It means a lot to me and to our kids that we do this every year, and I hope it means as much to you. We're talking about climbing a mountain today, or maybe just tackling tasks that seem insurmountable, or maybe just working on getting ready to do those things. And in the process of writing this, I learned that the science behind resilience shows that building strong adult-child relationships and community, as well as mobilizing sources of faith, hope, and cultural tradition, are 2 of 4 components of growing resilience. So I hope your family will keep us in your inner circle of resilience building in the years to come. Kids, teens, everyone in the room, let's talk about climbing a mountain, or maybe let's talk about how to face a thing that seems overwhelming, or how to meet a challenge head on, even when you don't think you can beat that challenge. Let's talk about how to rise to the occasion, or how to get ready to rise to the occasion of climbing that mountain, and how to rise up for yourself and be the best you that you can be. With school and friendships and homework, and for all of us adults with elections and bills and inflation and kids, we have a lot going on this fall. But no need to worry. I've got you covered. We're going to go step by step with this approach to dealing with being ready for these things. And we, as your faith community, are here to support you, all of you, through the process. In fact, let's plan to meet back every Sunday, say at 10:30 to 11:30 a.m.-ish, and we'll check in with each other to see how far up the mountain we've made it each week. This is a very practical how-to talk, because when I tried to make it anything else, it just didn't get written the right way. The words were jumbled and messy, but I think we have plenty of our 7 UU values embedded in these steps, especially transformation, interdependence, and love. So, are you ready? Take notes. How to climb a mountain, or tackle an overwhelming task, or be the person you need to be and do the thing you need to do. Number 1, prioritize sleep. Really, get early morning sunlight and dim your lights in the evening. Put the blue screens away after supper and keep phones out of the bedroom. No chocolate, coffee, tea after 2 p.m. And sleep in the darkest room you can handle. These are part of what's called sleep hygiene, and they help reset your circadian rhythm. Take some melatonin if you need it, or drink some chamomile tea, but make sleep a priority. No mountains will be climbed without sleep. 2, stay hydrated. A 2% decrease in brain hydration can result in short-term memory loss and give you trouble with math, among other things. Prolonged dehydration causes brain cells to shrink in size and mass. Caffeinated beverages don't hydrate, so drink extra water to compensate for them. Again, no mountains will be climbed without hydration, and no algebraic equations or essays will be solved or written without water. 3, eat real food, some of it green, some of it protein. There are all kinds of things that happen in the body when we don't have nutrition and sustenance. Whatever you happen to eat after the real food, that's another matter. I'm not responsible for it. But just make sure you actually get the real food first. Lower nutrition can cause lower grades, lower test scores, higher grumpiness, poor marriage, increased anxiety, stress, and it can become a lose-lose situation if you don't eat real food. So without sleep, hydration, and food, basically, you can't live, much less climb a mountain or solve big problems. It matters more than you realize, and that goes for all of you, no matter your age or school status. 4, become resilient. This is a big deal. Being resilient means that when something difficult happens, we trust ourselves to handle it, make it through to the other side, and be okay, even if it didn't work out quite how we wanted it to. Not everyone builds resilience in childhood because not everyone has the right parameters and support systems in place. So if you're an adult who could use some resilience building, these apply to you too. To become resilient, first we're going to take a big breath, y'all, on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Big inhale. Throw out the wiggles. Another big inhale. Throw them out. Settle in. Just a few more minutes of this. All right, stay connected to meaningful relationships and community, like UUNB. This means seeking out adults you can rely on and building social connections that are secure and supportive rather than insecure and not supportive. Look for friends, no matter their age, that help you feel good about yourself and who don't ask you to compromise your values or do bad things. Make every day meaningful. Do things that matter to you. If something matters, put time and effort into it instead of using up all your effort points on things you care less about. Sometimes things matter indirectly because we don't necessarily care about math, but getting through school and having a job that requires we take the math class does matter. Remind yourself of those priorities as you tackle the tasks, but also don't fall into the trap of only fun things being meaningful. Hard things are meaningful too. Take and make opportunities to build your risk tolerance and stress tolerance. This means doing things that you haven't done before, maybe that you might fail at, but it's low risk if you do fail, because that helps you be prepared for the bigger fail, which surely will come before success. If you have anxiety, doing these things, preparing yourself for these things is especially important. The remedy for anxiety isn't avoidance, but is instead facing or pursuing the thing that gives us anxiety. Lean into your faith and spiritual beliefs, and lean into your faith community and cultural traditions. Whether those things are meditation, prayer, spell work, working out, volunteering your time for others, or doing tarot cards under the full moon, which is a favorite of mine. Make it a part of your daily life. And don't skip out on holiday traditions and rituals. These seasonal events anchor us in the years as they pass. Take action. Do something towards the thing. Even if that's just learning more about the problem you need to solve or the mountain you need to climb. Avoidance gets us nowhere and keeps us stuck at the bottom of the mountain. Taking small steps every day builds progress, and our resilience will thrive on seeing the progress we've made. So, give yourself credit for all the progress. If you're the type to keep track of it in a journal, do that. Or just think back and remember a time when you couldn't do a thing, and give yourself credit for all the ways you worked toward that goal and made progress on it, because now you can do all the things that you couldn't do before. And it means a lot to your heart and mind to make note of it. 5, build up your self-esteem, because you are who you always needed. Do that by watching what you say about yourself to others in your self-talk. If you wouldn't want someone else to say it about you, don't say it about yourself. Use kind, caring language about yourself. Be realistic about what you can do, but know you can grow and build skills if you keep working at it. No experts ever started as experts. They started at the bottom of the mountain and climbed it one step at a time. Look for good role models, not just in living, but in the things you want to accomplish. Find family members, community members, or people in the world who can represent the slow climb that it takes to become what you want to become, or who have overcome the challenges you want to tackle. Own your stuff. Take responsibility for things you've done, because only then can you forgive yourself for having done it. This is sometimes harder than it should be, but that's okay. We all love you and believe in you, and it's okay to make mistakes. Make small choices that work up to bigger choices. Give yourself the space to get it wrong and try again and inch your way along. Learn to name your emotions. When you can name them, you can reflect on them and breathe into them, not away from them. Use an emotion chart or wheel if that helps, but building your emotional awareness and your ability to self-reflect will be like having a supercharged battery in a video game. All of these things will help you with growing your ability to trust yourself and believe in yourself when you really need to. We already believe in you. All of you, not just the kids. We believe in you. So use that as your starting point. Number 6, back to the mountain. Do the hard stuff first and get it out of the way. It feels better to enjoy the fun parts knowing you've already done the hard parts of a project. 7, but if the hard stuff is too big, break it into smaller pieces instead of avoiding it. You don't climb a mountain in one giant leap. You climb it in 1,000 steps or 5,000 steps or 10,000 steps. Start with just the first step of the hard thing. And when you've completed that part, move on to the next small step. 8, structure your time and make a plan. You may love routine and thrive on it, or you may hate it and balk at it, but either way, make choices about how and when you'll work on something, and stick to it as much as possible. Predictability leads to less struggle in routine, but go back to the starting small part if this is too difficult. And number 9, the last thing you need to do to climb the mountain or tackle the task or face the problem is rise. Rise to the occasion. Some occasions or problems ask more of us than others. Some mountains are taller. We don't bring enough water for only a hill when the mountain is the tallest mountain we've seen. We bring extra water, extra tents and sleeping bags, and if needed, we bring food and friends. When a problem or season in life or friendship or election or class or parent or teacher asks more of us than we've previously been asked of, we dig deep and rise to the demand of it. You can do it. I can do it. We can all do it. We see you doing it every day with everyday tasks and issues. This mountain, whatever problem it may be, will be no different. Stronger, you'll become. Braver, you'll become. You'll become the mountain. Wiser. A new version of yourself that knows you have what it takes to handle the next mountain, because you just proved you can handle this one. But you are the only you who can climb it for you. You are the only you who can become your own mountain. You are who you've always needed, and you are enough. So rise.